But also, if you don't believe in issues of heaven, tell me a bigger visa than my citizenship of Uganda, which is my national identity. Because if I'm a citizen in Uganda and you threaten to deny me a visa anywhere, I'm coming to your country to Spain.
Thank you, Honorable Tayebwa. Thank you for standing in that forum and standing up for Uganda. God bless you really, and thank you for showing that we are not just going to be blown by the wind, following the money where it is said to be. We are leaders to stand for our nation.
The event was organized by the Parliamentary Forum on Ethics and Integrity.
I hope this conference will address several questions, such as how can we find a place for ethical and moral values into our society in such a way that our country's governance, coexistence, and actions are informed by these values.
The event ended with the First Lady calling for popularization and collective ownership of national values. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Commissioner Monitoring and Evaluation for Local Government in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mayanja Gozaga, has commissioned a community police post in Abim district. The police will help enhance the operations of Uganda Police Force and tighten security in black spots where cattle raids were rampant. As Ivan Kawa reports, 7 police posts have been constructed in Karamoja sub-region under government's development initiative for northern Uganda.
The Office of the Prime Minister, with support from the European Union, has commissioned Morulem Community Uganda Police Post in Morulem Town Council, Abim District. This is among the 7 police posts in Karamoja region, constructed along borders and suspected routes for Karimojong warriors.
They used to come and settle in this particular area, go and raid. They collect whatever they have raided in this one position, and when it's enough, they now drive. So it was a collection center for them.
We encouraged supporting local contractors, meaning using local labor, sourcing local materials, and generally working with the communities around your area, which is why we have project implementation committees around each police post.
The police post has an office block and accommodation of up to 9 families, and each post will be given 2 motorcycles to ease transport.
We are going to provide furniture for the police, for the office block. We are going to provide a borehole at each police post. We are going to give solar to each police post, and then we are going to have water. We have water harvesting equipment.
That means they are helping us as police to discharge our mandate, which is securing life and protection of property.
Certainly the issue of fencing the police post will take precedence, and I will further raise it with management to make sure that the place is secured.
For the time being, they'll have to deploy or employ security tactics of how to survive, so that if you are 10 here, 2 people can always deployed at night to guard you.
Despite this milestone, Karamoja sub-region has police presence in 24 sub-counties out of 62, leaving 38 unattended too.
We have motorized patrol, and we are already capacitating the AS2, that is the anti-stock theft unit, to be able to be mobile, and we are providing them with good vehicles, that is armor.
The European Union and other partners have injected 581 billion shillings in the Development Initiative for Northern Uganda, a government program implemented in 5 sub-regions of Northern Uganda. These include Teso, Lango, Acholi, West Nile and Karamoja. The initiative targets 3 sectors that include livelihood, nutrition and food security, infrastructure, and good governance. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Karamoja sub-region.
Local leaders in Acholi sub-region are puzzled by the alarming number of survivors that are severely hit by the nodding disease syndrome in the region. Pade District Chairperson, retired Colonel Fearless Oboya, says a number of male survivors with severe conditions in the region have many times attempted to rape and strangle women.
At least 1,700 to 2,000 victims are still battling with nodding disease syndrome in Acholi sub-region, with the majority having severe conditions.
And 2,000 in a household, multiplied by the number of the household, averaging 6, we could be talking about 12,000, a population of 12,000 who are affected.
Padere district is leading in the region with 774 cases, half of them with severe conditions.
Out of 774, 23 passed on. At the moment, we are left with 751. And of these 751, almost a half of them have severe situation.
The severe conditions have forced the survivors to be violent in their communities.
The worst situation now is the female one tend even to rape their mothers. Some few weeks ago, one of them raped, strangled a woman who went grinding in their home to death.
The condition has also diminished the level of economic activities in the region, as the majority of affected families spend much time with their survivors.
They don't have a way of going for cultivation or whatever the case may be. Full time they confine themselves at home.
So we are looking at a good number, and we think that once we address these people socioeconomically, we are going to release them out of poverty, and the poverty in northern Uganda will reduce.
It is against this background that government held a joint stakeholder meeting to have everlasting solutions to the virus in Acholi sub-region.
If there was a treatment center, these children who are badly off could be taken to the treatment center and gives time for their parents to at least do some economical activities.
We need the Ministry of Agriculture and more industries and fisheries to join us in this journey. These are inter-ministerial interventions so that each ministry tackles and addresses specific issues that affect children and families with nodding syndrome.
In the meeting, CTI Africa agreed with government and the local leaders to conduct research to ascertain the exact number of the victims in the region.
We are not the one that's going to provide an answer what was causing the disease. It's not the aim of the rollout of our activity. The aim of our activity is to map up what's going on and to find the way forward with the victims in order to improve the livelihood.
The survivors will be supported based on the findings.
So we are looking forward to the result of the research, which will identify exactly their status, but also point of intervention to support.
It should be noted that the region has not yet registered any new case of the nodding syndrome disease since it was last spread River Swa that harbors the black flies that transmit the virus. Joseph Oko, UBC.
A disagreement erupted between Kampala Deputy RCC in charge of Lubaga, Anderson Burora, KCCA and the National Secretariat of the Parish Development Model over the management of the Parish Development Model program in Lubaga Division. Following the disagreements, Burora has suspended the Parish Development Model in Lubaga, while KCCA and the National Secretariat officials maintain that Burora has no mandate to do so. More details in this
Government introduced the Parish Development Model NADS and community-driven development programs as part of interventions to uplift the living conditions and incomes of the people. But Kampala Deputy RCC in charge of Lubaga Division, Anderson Burora, has suspended all the above programs in Lubaga Division, citing fraud and anomalies in their implementation.
We've taken a stand with the several stakeholders that we hold the continuation of the Parish Development Model arrangements as they stand now, because they don't reflect what government intended to address. We also want to do the same on community-driven development, which is CDD, that when we want to trace the groups which benefited from these programs.
Bulola says they are investigating the anomaly.
The number of officers we are going to give to the relevant bodies for investigation to understand their motive.
But the Kampala State Parish Development Model Coordinator, Hajati Asia Ndamisere, and the PDM National Enterprise Specialist, Irene Mwanguzi-Wasike, say the RCC has no mandate to suspend a nationwide program without prior consultation with his supervisors and the national stakeholders.
So to suspend suddenly may not be the solution. If there's any fraud or any problem in the system, let him consult us, and then together we can decide on what needs to be done to rectify that situation. PDM is not here for a short time. We are here patiently working with the people.
I would think he ought to have engaged from his division with his technical people to see where, how, what has gone wrong, such that we put it right, rather than maybe closing completely. However, we need to inform people of Kampala that they shouldn't get worried.
They claim in the meantime the program will continue as scheduled. Edward Colin Juko for UBC, Kampala.
Vocational training in the law section is likely to face challenges in Jinja District. The director, Barrett's Lights Junior School in Buenda, Jinja District, told UBC that hindering factors are inadequate structures, stigma, and unimplemented education policies.
Statistics show that students must get 30% vocational training in secondary schools to enable learners get skills that can help them live a life in case of any termination. The rolling out of the vocational program will face challenges in Jinja District. The director, Barrett Light Junior School in Buenda, Jinja City, Kataike Allison, says the schools look at local ways of addressing the vocational programs.
Initially in Buenda, there was a problem of children going to school, especially children from vulnerable or poor families, the orphans who are so vulnerable. We came up with the idea of having Barrett's Light Junior and Nursery School in this community. We have enrolled around 300 children, and we are giving them scholastics, and we are paying the teachers too.
Kateki calls upon parents to encourage students to develop love for science-based subjects.
We want each child in a community to have education. We are emphasizing so much on sciences for different reasons. Why? Because even the government is encouraging sciences in our schools.
The learners here appreciated the school guiding them in vocational education and sciences.
I love science because our teachers give us time and space to explore in science.
Barrett Lights offers free education to over 300 orphaned and underprivileged children who face difficulty in studying, causing many children to lose hope in education. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Residents of Luzira Parish in Nakawa Division have been urged to be vigilant if they are to leave safely. The Community Liaison Officer, Chitintale Police, AIGP Okit Albert, told a local council's meeting at Bishop Cyprian Chianjire Senior Secondary School in Luzira that as times go by, everybody must be secure.
Assistant Inspector of Police Okiti Albert says that there are some youth who have turned to drug abuse and can be a menace within the community. Some youth in Luzira have also embarked on theft and burglary.
Drugs, there is a theft. Holiday makers, let them listen to their parents and be guided by their parents.
Nalongo Monica Wanyana counsel LC to advise parents to guide their children during this festive season.
They should know that the country still needs them.
They should keep themselves safe. Let them not loiter around unnecessarily.
The parish chairperson, local council 2, Nalongo Monica Wanyana, turned to the local politicians who bail out criminals, claiming that this puts the area security return to antagonize the area.
Mainly on safety, and they don't end up only stealing, but they are even killing people. Find that most of them, when they are beaten mostly on the head, they get head injuries and eventually die. So it is a threat. That's why I have called for this security meeting.
Meanwhile, some local council leaders in the security meeting share their experience.
As long as it is within the Luzira internet, when we are east, I mean, is it Buya East or Nakawa East? Me, I am there to provide.
We have been trying, but security has been very poor. We have been struggling with the security for sure. It's not good all the time. Including the issue of stealing, which also we have been getting here in Luzira. There is the issue of raping young girls.
Luzira Parish is composed of 21 administrative units called cells, which have embarked on implementing security remedies. Kayumba Stephen compiled this for UBC.
Leaders from various sectors in Kabale district have been asked to embrace initiatives aimed at promoting family planning if development is to be realized in the area. The call was sounded during the Kabale district Family Planning Advocacy Working Group follow-up and closeout meeting.
Since 2017, a project aimed at increasing advocacy for family planning has been under implementation in the district with support from the Partners in Population and Development Africa Regional Office.
Challenges around family planning uptake have always revolved around not there being enough funds to do family planning sensitization, not there being enough funds to do family planning procurement for commodities, issues around myths and misconceptions.
For religious leaders, stakeholders called for positivity towards family planning campaigns since they have for long been seen as being biased on some of the approaches.
So we shall continue engaging the religious leaders, telling them the advantages of family planning and how we can harmonize family planning activities within the sermon activities of it.
However, Reverend Robertson Agaba, a member of the advocacy group, says family planning messages should be framed in a way that does not appear to promote ungodly practices.
What would have been perfect is that these who are policy makers, who are program initiators, should come on board and meet the church leaders who are ambassadors of God and clarify what their take is, so that finally there is a conclusive mutual agreement on what to feed to the Christians and the rest of the followers. That finally what comes out will be for the good of people. But
it was also noted that fertility rate in Kabale district is still very high at 4 babies per mother. Teenage pregnancy is above 10%, while adolescent marriage rate is at 10.7%. The government of Uganda recognizes the role of family planning. The government of Uganda recognizes the role family planning will play in achieving the vision of Uganda 2040. The government of Uganda recognizes the role family planning will play in achieving.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return after these messages.
MTN presents Tugende Muchika Day at Kampala Serena Hotel on Saturday, 3rd December 2022. Standard tickets go for 100k, gold 300k, and 3 million for platinum. Or pay 90,000 shillings if you pay using MTN mobile money. Remember, this is only applicable to ordinary tickets. Featuring Eddie Away, Charles Nalubega, Sweet Kid, Kabiye Semboga, Akiki Romeo, Betty Pologuma, Ziggy D, Lady Mariam, Tina Tine, Abdumulasi, and featuring Abim. makeup band. All this at Kampala Serena Hotel. For reservations call 0785-961-910. Dress code retro style. Sponsored by Elderly Network Foundation, Coca-Cola, Al Breweries Limited, Kadanke, and MTN. Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude. It's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Yeah. Sending money the old way. Wrong number. Sending money with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access and confirm contact details in real time before you send money. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us on UBC Lunchtime News. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Now with more news this afternoon, participants attending the 7th Great Sundowner have hailed renowned pharmacologists for boosting their capacity to produce goods that easily access the market. The facilitator, also CEO of Professor Bioresearch, Professor Julius Nyanzi, says he looked at Uganda's economy and its people and has solutions to end poverty. Take a look.
That started with fewer people has attracted all persons from different walks of life. They are attending a science and technology training to return home and economically empower themselves.
Nanjikirizwa kugira kalitunsi waffe emiti basuula misuule nendaba nga nsobola okufunamu nze bino byasomeseza ngenda biteekamu action
okamula omwenyango n'olwekyo ebyo bimu ku bintu ate bitulina ate byetusobola okukola ki okukozesa ate nebeera nga bitumbula ebyenfuna byaffe tujja mu bwavu.
The training has entered the third day with topics on technology and science, modern farming, agribusiness, cottage industries at Equatorial Mall in Kampala. The facilitator, Professor Julius Nyanzi Chuma Chuagala Chuma, says nobody will go back home with an empty head. Nyanzi trained in over 10 topics, including biodiesel extraction, toilet paper making, and others.
So this year I saw it wise because the fuel prices had escalated, they had gone so high. So this time around I've trained Ugandans on how to make biodiesel. I've trained them on how to make ash soap from ash, what we call natural bar soap from the ash.
Professor Nyanzi has helped farmers to fare into modern farming.
Farmers are learning here to grow new cash crops. Farmers have been addicted to the old cash crops, the coffee, the tea, but the world is moving, the world is evolving. This is the time to introduce new crops which are disease resistant, which can withstand the drought or harsh climatic conditions. Things like umwenyango, the things we have taught today.
Value addition was key, where products can be produced to make other products.
Things like umwenyango, the things we have taught today, that plant in English called as stinging nettle, is very resistant to quite a number of climatic conditions. And more so, something like a nitrose. Nitrose has been here for ages, but no one has ever added any value to it. So this is the time to begin adding value to things like that. Nitrose can survive for 100 years plus.
Different farmers preferred eucalyptus oil extraction, where they earn money from eucalyptus leaves.
okulima nga kalitunsi nze kenyini ndi mulimu wa kalitunsi naye ngenda kwagala okumukamula
ekyo ngenda okukolera ddala kalitunsi ye ngenda mumukola kuba baneiba bange balina ekibira eri mu kyalo.
Omukenkufu Julius Nyanzi shares knowledge that empowers Ugandans to earn money. Abiona Francisco, UBC News.
Ugandans have been urged to embrace government programs on wealth creation and the culture of savings if they are to get out of poverty. The State Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, noted that many Ugandans do not save and require sensitization to embrace the culture of saving.
Minister of the
Government has pledged to support microfinance institutions in the country towards realizing their potential and facilitate their role towards the growth and economy of the country. The State Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo, encouraged Ugandans to embrace government programs like Emioga.
We invited all key partners in the microfinance industry come together, sit in a conference so that we can be informed to achieve and grow the microfinance industry. Because you see, microfinance industry it is very key. If we want to develop this economy, we must ensure that we support the microfinance industry, because majority of Ugandans are served by microfinance industry, almost 80% of Ugandans. So we wanted to come together so that we can have a common, vibrant voice. Yes, so this.
The chairperson, Association of Microfinance Institutions, Shafi Nambobi, noted that loan uptake for microfinance institutions has increased for the last 9 months after the economy was fully reopened.
Economy is picking up, as is evidenced by the uptake of the loans. And of course, Ugandan economy is highly dependent on agriculture, cannot operate in isolation. The Ukraine-Russia war has affected in terms of the prices of fertilizers, especially for the customers that are engaged in agriculture. The prices for fertilizers have gone up, and also the fuel costs have gone up, so that means that the cost of living has also gone up.
Professor Waswa Balunywa, the principal of Makerere University Business School, presented the report on drivers for sustainable microfinance and saving groups findings, urging government to provide a regulatory framework for microfinance institutions to safeguard people's savings.
In terms of registration, we are saying make the registration fee affordable. One of the sources of corruption, is high registration fees. When you go out into the village and you want something from LC, when it's very expensive, you start paying. So can we make this as affordable as possible?
Report compiled by Saddam Mubali for UBC News.
Vivo Uganda has launched a new product that will favor the business community to transact smoothly as they follow up the World Cup excitement. According to Vivo Uganda, this new device will keep up with the V-Series legacy and support technological trends in Uganda.
Oh, Vivo! A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, our dear viewers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can go and take this.
I'm glad to launch Vivo in Uganda. As you know, it's top 3 brands in most of the big Asian countries, India, China. The aim is to be in the number 1 in Uganda as well. The phones are very different from the phones available in the market now. They are from the new technologies, slim models, 5G network phones are there. The testing and all what is done before the launch, before they make the phones, it is very different from it. You can see the videos how it is made. They do the shock test, then so very many things which is very different from the other phones. Before Vivo makes any phones, they do a lot of tests on it so that they don't go wrong on any of these. like as I told you, the shock test, the networking test, and every other things.
So you were giving you a phone which is giving you value for money, value for the hype that you get. We actually have good batteries. All our batteries are above 5,000 milliamp batteries, and we have AI technology on these phones. So you're looking at phones that are fast charging, phones that are giving you over 2 days idle use, and you're looking at phones that are giving you over 16 hours of use. I think we are partnering with the best camera makers in the world. We're having the best chipsets chipsets in these phones. So you're looking at having a good phone with a good camera, yet very affordable. And of course, when you're looking at RAM, all our phones have virtual RAM, because these days we have what we call idle RAM. Our flagship has an 8 GB RAM and an idle RAM of 8, which gives us 16 GB of RAM. So making it a very fast phone, which is even less than 2 million. I think that is a very, very good deal.
UBC Lunchtime News has come to an end. We do thank you so much for your company. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Have yourself a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.